Hello everyone, it's Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. I have just come in from my garden. It's not far off 1:30 now, but I went out about 11 o'clock and like yesterday I had been clearing all the weeds between the pavings on my patio. So I thought today I'll go out and clear the weeds between the pathway. I have a very wide pathway up the front from my garden, from the back gate up to it's a back door, not the front door. As one of my sons was a motor mechanic, and when he lived at home he used to bring his car in. We have like tracks around the back so you can drive your cars around the back and get into your back garden, but I used to have double gates on. And he used to bring his car into the back garden to fix, or we used to bring ours in as well if it needed anything doing on it. Because it was easier with the outhouse being on the back part of the house. I do have a drive and that on the front, but it was easier for to come, you know, in and out of the outhouse and to do what they were doing on the car. So it's a very wide path. I think it's about 8 foot wide. And very long as well, and there was a lot of weeds in between the pavings because they're all paving things that's in there. So that's what I thought I'd do today. I cleared all the pavings, and I know we are forecast for rain, but it was quite nice this morning. Actually, I went out with I put my jeans on, you know, with having to bend down all the time. I was wearing a skirt yesterday and it was a bit awkward having to keep bending down, and so I thought I'd put my shorts on today because it was lovely and warm. And so that's what I did, and I cleared all the weeds, and then I thought I might as well cut the grass while I'm out because we're all going to get rain, and according to the app on my phone we're going to have rain for about a week, so the lawns needed cutting. I have 3 lawns, a very large one in the back and a smaller one up the top of the back garden, and a sort of medium sized one in the front garden. So I came in from about 12. I worked for an hour clearing all the weeds and that, and I do have to rest in between. I can't keep at it all the time because my back's not up to it. It was lunchtime anyway, so I came in, had my lunch, and then sat down and did a little bit knitting for a little while until 12:30, I think it was. Yes, 12:30, and I went back out again and cut all the lawns. Just the last one was in the front garden. That's how I always leave that last. And I only just got it finished. I was emptying the the box out the lawnmower, and I've got compost bins in the back garden, and I put the cuttings in the compost bins, and I could see 1 or 2 spots on the top of the bin lid. So I had to rush back. I had just finished cutting the grass, and I was emptying the box, and so I had to rush out and get the lawnmower out of the rain because it just got heavier and heavier, and roll up the wire for. So that's the end of my gardening for today, and it was really hot work. And when I was cutting the grass, I put my watch on because it shows steps on the watch. Just the time that I was working in the garden and then cutting the grass and that, I have done 1,686 steps. Just doing that, so it's good exercise for you. Mind you, when I finish this video, I'm going to take all these clothes off and put something else on because they're all damp with sweat. I can feel the sweat on my t-shirt and my shorts, but the heavens just opened and it's turning black now. Actually, we were forecast for thunder today, but it disappeared off my phone. It's gone on to Wednesday now, the thunder, but it looks like we could get it today because it's gone very dark. I don't know what it says on my phone now. I'll have a check. But my phone said rain, heavy rain at 1 o'clock, and it was 1 o'clock on the dot when it started. For a change, my phone was right. No, it's got nothing about, nor even, just maybe it's a shower from now, but it's very dark. Oh, the thunder and lightning's gone on to Wednesday, so we might be getting it Wednesday. They said for today, but it's not very often the app on my phone is right. But anyway, that's enough about gardening. I did a little bit, just a little bit more of this little sweater this morning. That's just a little bit of that one. But I have started doing another bag for putting wool in. Well, I'll take that out and I'll show you this. I think when I finish this one, I think I'll do a tutorial. This one has a wide base on the bottom where you can see, and I just cast on, made a chain, I think 40 stitches for the bottom, and I'm using a 10mm. I'm using 2 strands of, where I find it, oh, I'll be onto another ball. This is Peyton's white yarn I bought quite a while ago, and it was very stiff and hard, and I didn't like it, and it's perfect for these bags. So I'm mixing this with some balls of Aran. I had 6 balls of this Aran. I think it was what Emma sent it to me, 50-gram balls that are. So I'm using these for to do the bag, and I would probably put this one on my Etsy shop along with the other things I'm selling. But I'm saying I did start off with I did a 40 chain, and instead of doing the corners like I did on the other one, I'm just going backwards and forwards until it measures 6 inches. And then I've got to the where I started to do the crochet all around the whole thing, because I'm just going round in circles. I'm not doing any joins. You don't need to do joins on things like this. I don't like joins anyway, because they leave where you join it, you get a line all the way up. Doesn't matter how careful you are, you get a line. But I started after I finished the base. When I come to do all around it, I come to each corner. I did 3. It's just double crochet. I done 3 double crochet into each corner, and that was all. That was the only ones. And then I just kept on going round and round. But that's the size this one's going to be out. I don't know actually what to measure until I've finished it, because I've had quite a few comments and 1 or 2 messages about it. People wanting to know, well, somebody asked how much I would charge for making one, actually. I don't know, not sure really. Emma did send me £20 for the one that I did, but I'm not sure what a good price is for this sort of thing. But I have been looking on like Etsy and all that, but just some of the prices on there are disgusting. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got quite a few balls, you know, of like some chunky and some Aran that I didn't know what to do with, because I don't like knitting with thick wool for making little kids things, because I don't like to make little kids things with anything thicker than double knitting. I think it's too thick for them. But that's just ideal for this, and it only took me, I started this yesterday afternoon. I've done the little ones, like I'm saying, the little knitting ones in the morning, and then I've been doing this in the afternoon. So I started this about 1 o'clock, and I worked on it till about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and I got quite a lot done. And I've just started on it again after I've come in from the garden. So I would imagine I might possibly get it finished today. So it's only going to take me 2 days it's probably about 8 hours. About 8 hours of work on it, I think. But like I say, and I've had some messages and people asking about it, so I think it's quite a good idea to use up some of these thick, chunky and Aran wools that I have. And I thought the 10mm hook was best, because I did start on the other one I made. I started it with 8mm, but I was really struggling, you know, the stitches seemed to be a bit tight and they didn't come off the hook so well, so I changed to the 10mm hook part of the way up after I'd done the base on that one. And I found the 10mm hook was much better, but I will do a tutorial. After I finish this one, I'll start another one and I'll do a tutorial from beginning to end, so anybody that wants to do one will be able to follow along without much trouble. Instead of me just telling you what I'm doing, you'll be able to see what I'm doing from the video. So that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the afternoon, probably till tea time, till maybe till about 5 o'clock, and might possibly get it finished by then. I'm going to have to join another ball of the pink on. But I think I have a pack of about 10 balls of like a rust colour Aran upstairs in my stock room. I could work some more white with that, and I have a couple of balls maybe with red, and I've still got enough navy left, I think, from the last one I did, probably to do another one. Probably just the white that I'll probably run out of, but I can get plenty of that nip to the shops and that little. But that's just a little bit what I've been doing and what I am doing, and just hope this weather brightens up again. I'm going to have to put the light on in my living room. It's gone quite dark. Our phone actually had heavy rain, but it had, you know, it shows you little round dots for the rain, and that these were white dots, which I take it as hail. It's a bit warm for hail, I think. But anyway, that's my little bit. I'm going to carry on with this, and I went a bit too far. I'm going to have to join some pink under that, pull a couple of stitches out. So thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you all another time. So bye for now.